What is going on, everyone? Now today in this video it's gonna be a bit of a longer video probably. The reason being I'm basically summarizing as best as I possibly can most of the patch notes that are coming for 6.0.2. When you see this video, the servers may or may not be up. I'm not too sure, but they are going to be released today when you see this video, Tuesday, or if you see this video in the future, then the servers are already up and the patch notes are already live onto the real servers. Now the patch notes are very long and they're very, very detailed. I'm viewing this from MMO Champion. I mean, you guys can view it on WoW's website. I'm sure there's tons of other websites that have published this, but I'm viewing it from MMO Champion. So if you want to read along with me, or if you want to check out the notes, go to MMO Champion, and you can easily find them on MMO Champion on the front page, and just look along. So obviously, the big thing that's coming on the launch date, the pre-patch, which is 6.0.2, is the world event, which is the Iron Horde incursion, which involves the Dark Portal and the Blasted Lands. So if you guys want to have some fun, go to the Blasted Lands and fight it out. Basically, the big thing also, new character models, which are for the dwarves, the gnomes, the humans, night elves, orcs, taurens, trolls, and deads, and Draenei. So yeah, there's that, which all of the models are sick, and we finally get to play with the new models. Like, I'm happy. Like, I understand, like, play with them in the beta, whatever, but now that it's like it's coming to the real servers, like every time I play something in the beta, like it's not like surreal yet until it comes into live. Like, that's when I really happy about it. There's a revamped group finder / pre-made groups. Not really gonna talk about that. That's nothing too crazy. It's all right. But also, cooler thing, quest log. They actually made it easier to know where you're going and what to do now. If it wasn't already so easy to do, but now there is. Inventory. They're now making a colored border for the quality of the items. So if it's a rare, it's gonna have a blue colored border. Yay. Woo! Now character and class changes. I'm not gonna be going over character and class changes. The reason being, like I said, very, very detailed, and there's tons of things. I can go on for 40 minutes just talking about like a couple of the classes or / specs. I did a Rep Paladin one. Reason being, that's like my main, so that's why I did Rep Paladin. I might do the rest of them in the future within the next couple weeks, like maybe before Warlords of Draenor comes out, or slightly into the expansion. I might drop some class changes videos for other classes and specs and stuff like that. Now the pretty much one of like the largest things going into Warlords of Draenor, or even this patch, is the stat squish, and everyone is like just like so happy for this. So, you know, now instead of hitting like these crazy like 400,000 crits, maybe like 20Ks and stuff like that, it's a lot better because you're not seeing these. Obviously everyone wants to see like these ginormous numbers and these crits, but I think it's just better because when we're level 100, and if we didn't have a stat squish, when we're critting for, I don't even know, if we like crit for like 3 million, like it's just gonna like eventually, and like in 2 expansions, if it's still going, like the numbers are just gonna run off the map or off the screen. So that's why we need a stat squish, and that's a big thing for the pre-patch. Now obviously, a lot of you know, big thing also is the primary character stats and attack power, which the primary stats are agility, strength, and intellect, and they're just basically the foundation of the class. And then they're changing like all the stats for agility, strength, and intellect, and how they pretty much like they rearranged everything basically. Yeah, pretty much like that. So like there's no like For example, if agility before gave you like an increased chance to critically hit with your abilities, now it doesn't do that anymore. That's basically just like a example right there. And also intellect, I believe, doesn't give you an increased chance to critically hit either. So no more like critically hits with agility or intellect. And I'm not too sure about strength. I didn't really read into that one too much, surprisingly, even in Paladin. But yeah. Now, one thing, this is actually something I didn't really read over. It's the itemization changes. And it says here that they're making a number of changes to itemization based on a single philosophy. They're saying they want to increase the chance that any given item drop is useful to someone in your group, instead of it not being useful, pretty much. So they're making changes to the stats, and everything found in the expansion will work for all specializations with given a class. So like intellect plate drop. Well, if you don't have a group, if you don't have like a holy paladin, you're not going to be getting intellect plate drop, because there's no point really. Like, why would you have that drop? No one in the group using it. It's just pointless. So yeah, so there's that. The secondary stats that are being added, one being bonus armor, which is pretty obvious. It just increases your armor, and it also increases your attack power for tanking specs. Multi-strike and versatility. So basically, you gotta choose. Probably versatility for, I mean, it really depends. Multi-strike, I don't know. It just depends what you want to choose. Stuff like that. Moving on to another big thing that, I mean, you're probably, I don't see this being like a problem for anyone. I think this is actually a good thing. It's hit and expertise removal. So there's that. And which is good, because I don't see why anyone really wants to have hit and expertise, because it's not like something, you don't have to focus on it being a stat anymore within your armor. Like, if you're trying to hit the hit and expertise cap, now you really don't have to. It's better that way. They have secondary stat attunements. I'm not going to get too much into that, because that involves explaining each one for each spec of every class. I'm sure you can easily find that. And that's going to be a lot of theory crafting, I guess. Well, not really. Basically, more theory crafting of how best it's going to work with your class, and how you're able to get the most out of using your secondary stat attunements and stuff like that. Another thing is player health and resilience. Right here they're saying they're planning several interconnected changes designed to provide better tuned gameplay for healers and improve the healing dynamic in PvP. Yay. The healing in PvP, personally, I just despise it, because it feels like they just never burn mana, and it's like I hate the healing in PvP, because they just never die. And you're just probably saying, well, you're doing something wrong. You're probably just not doing enough damage. Well, it's just that, it's ridiculous now, because they just don't burn mana. It's just like, give them 300,000, I understand. But like, when your abilities like take a couple thousand, and then you're regaining that mana like instantly after you use the ability, it's just, I don't know. That's my problem with healing and PvP. Now, remember, everyone, base resilience is going back down to 0%, and battle fatigue has been reduced to 20%, down from 60%, and critical damage and critical heals in PvP now deal 150% of the normal spell / ability effects, and it used to be 200%. So that also comes with less damage being put out, on top of the resilience being 0 and the stat squishes, so the health. Now they're saying they want to retune healing spells. I'm not gonna get into too much of that, because it's very Again, it's talking about the specifics of each spec and class, and going very in depth with it because it's kind of long. So if you guys want to check out how they're retuning healing spells, then you can check out the post on MMO Champion, like I'm reading here. Racial traits. If you guys don't know, they have rearranged and changed almost all of the racials for all the races within the game, to make them, instead of everyone's on the alliance, let me just use the humans because of their PvP trinket. They're making it something more where you actually want to make these other classes not just because of their racials. So that's why they're doing that. Ability pruning and consolidation. Not gonna go over this because, again, some abilities, it's just changes, and they're just answering stuff, like cooldowns and things like that. Now for CC, or crowd control and diminishing returns, there was so much CC in Miss Pandaria, and they even said it in this post, that there's way too much, and they knew that, and it's great. They're removing all silence effects from all interrupts. Keep in mind, silences still exist, but they're not like combined with the interrupts. There's no more disarms, and they reduce the number of diminishing returns. So like roots and stuns and like all that stuff, like they're cracking down. They're getting rid of tons of CC, which is great because I felt like, when you have a comp, like a 3v3 comp or whatever, and you can just chain CCs, it's just ridiculous, and you literally just, it's bad, and you really have to, using your trinket at one point is great, but when you have like when you're versus comp with like 7 like crowd controls where they can just like chain them all, there's 6 where you can just do nothing, and it's just bad. It's really bad. Now they also go in depth for each class and a bunch of changes for that. I'm not really gonna go over that. There's a movement speed. They're talking about movement speed, and that it's a powerful bonus in WoW, but the movement speed bonuses stack has generally been inconsistent and poorly explained. Now I'm not really gonna go over too much because it's just like, movement speed. It's not really anything crazy. Buffs and debuffs. Again, it's depending on your secondary stats and a bunch of other things like cast speed and just your haste and your attack speed. So I'm not going to go over that. Raid utility balance, and we're not in too much to raid utility balance. And another big thing, instant cast heals. They now have they gave most of the instant cast heals for a lot of the classes, especially paladins. They gave them like 1.5 second casts actually for everything that was instant cast, which for druid, monks, paladins, and priests, they made them 1.5 second cast times, which you can be like, it's not that bad, but for paladins, which is like a lot of their skills, it's kind of annoying. Periodic effects, like dots, they talk about that. Not gonna go into depth with that because they go very in depth with that. So if you want to know more about dots, make sure you check that out. Now, big thing: tank vengeance, resolve, and PvP. Basically, the lowdown is like tank's role in PvP. Well, I don't know how it's gonna happen, like, because they're removing vengeance, and now they're putting in resolve. Which, if you guys don't know what resolve is, it increases the self-healing and absorption based on damage taken, which is before all the mitigation and all the avoidance in the last 10 seconds. So without resolve, tanks can only deal significantly less healing and self-healing and absorption. So it's been made stronger to counteract that, and it increases the amount of self-healing and absorption as appropriate for the fight. So that's a big thing. Tanks have been very like non-existent in PvP, which is bad, but they're trying to make them like have basically like be there again. Reforging is I don't know, it's been removed for a good thing. It's like for the good, it's been removed. Combat resurrections, they talk about that. Not going to go into depth with that. Glyphs, like now you can basically, I'm just going to sum it up. You can basically automatically learn a lot of the glyphs at 25, 50, 60, and 75 automatically. So that's good. It's only a certain amount of them, not everything, but a lot of them. Now we get into the class changes. I'm not going to be talking about those because there are so many and they're so detailed, and I mean, you can pretty much check them all out when you're playing the game, but I'm not going to be taking a look at that. I'm going to be skipping over the class changes, and I think that might be everything for all of that. Yes, it is. Well, they have actually a couple other things. PvP, Battlegrounds and Arenas. Season 15 is over, and everything's being converted, like all your stuff. The rate, if you guys want to know what the rate is, it's 35 silver per point for any honor that's above 4,000, which is the cap. And then they talk about the Mount Journal and Brawlers Guild. So season one over, and then obviously the Mount Journal being a big thing, and pretty much that. So that's everything. I know that was a very long video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and it would show me so much support. Like, if you guys can let me know what you guys think about this video. Thumbs it up if you guys enjoyed it, because I know it's a very long video. I've never done a video, I don't think, ever this long in one take that wasn't like a leveling or like a let's play video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you guys did, always help to leave a like and spread the word. Let me know what you guys think about this video and all the changes coming to 6.0.2 in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.